Hey Turtle Nerds, welcome back to another video. So for those of you who don't know, this is Bean. Now Bean is a northern diamondback terrapin. She's got the concentric phenotype, which means she's got these squiggly lines and concentric rings on her shell. I love her to death and I've raised her since she was literally a hatchling the size of a quarter when I got her freshman year of college. I think this was like 6 years ago now. So Bean looks like, she looks like she got hit with an ugly stick. She looks like Deadpool after he got his powers. She looks like a friggin' pug. I love her, but she ugly. Her face is a little busted. Also, why am I in a garage? Why are all my turtles in a little tub? We're getting there. To explain all this, we gotta go back like 2 months ago, right? Things are starting to cool down in my new place in South Carolina. See, I no longer live on the coast where the weather's buffered, so the temperatures are a little higher and they're also a little lower at night. A little more extreme, I should say. So as we know, I had all the terrapins out in a big blue tub, 600-gallon tub, and then I had a group in a 300-gallon tub. I checked on them after a 2-week cold spell, and all of the terrapins in the blue tub were covered in fungus. It's a cold water fungus. I've seen it happen before. I actually did a video on it about 2 years ago. So I did a deep clean of the enclosure. I took the terrapins out. I kept them dry. And I applied acroflavin, which is the active ingredient in a stuff called Blue Coat. So I painted all my terrapins blue with this stuff and kept them dry for like a week. And things improved. It started to come off and whatnot. I could see that it was starting to recede. So I put them back out in the pond to go back into hibernation. And it came back with a vengeance.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
The terrapins were sleeping up at night, even though it was 40 degrees some nights. They're still sleeping on land. They're on these basking docks, on these logs that I had, not really knowing what to do. The combination of moving to a new enclosure while also trying to go into brumation was too much on their immune systems, which caused that fungus to happen in the first place, and then it caused it to come back. So again, I pull the terrapins out. I use malachite green in order to treat them, and then I also keep them dry, and I use acroflavin again. I try to put them back outside, and they're just not doing well. They're a little lethargic. They're starting to get a little bit sick. Nope. After the second batch of fungus came back and they're still not acting well and the pond is not cycled and whatnot, they're sleeping up at night. They're not going into hibernation like I want them to. I pull the plug on hibernation, essentially, for that group in the blue tub. I keep them dry inside and warm in a 75-gallon tub. This one's a 110, but a 75 is right next to me. And I keep them in that dry with this medication applied. And eventually the fungus starts peeling off. Now that worked just fine for them, but Bean, it was not working. Her body was covered in this fungus. I was freaking out. I mean, she was bad. Her eyes were swollen shut. There was fungus all over her face, and she just was not getting better. I took her to the vet, and we got her on a round of antibiotics, but again, day after day, I had been dry and warm. I had all the other terrapins dry and warm. That's the #1 way to kill a fungus, dry, warm, and an antifungal. I didn't care about brumation. I didn't care about eggs at this point, because in order to get eggs, I have to cool down the terrapins. Didn't care. Gave up on eggs next year. Don't care. Just want my animals to be happy and healthy. And because I just want my animals to be happy and healthy, and clearly I wasn't able to do that, and I had no winter setup. This garage was just built all of like 4 weeks ago here, so I had no space for these terrapins. And I knew that I couldn't put them back outside or they would just get sick again. Urkel, dragon fruit, mochi, crouton, and Yoda I sent off to a friend of mine. And I cannot thank this friend enough. I mean, he's really did me a huge favor by taking them all in. He also gets a group of very high quality, beautiful concentric diamondback terrapins. I decided at that point I was downsizing heavy.
Do you like turtles? Do you not want these turtles to starve? Then become a member on my Patreon today. Patrons get access to all kinds of exclusive content, including behind-the-scenes photos, bonus videos, turtles when I have them available, and so much more. Direct message me with all of your turtle-related questions, and I'll walk you through how best to care for your turtle, or just come say hi. Join my Patreon today and get access to over 300 bonus content posts.
How do I put this? If I can't take care of one of my most prized, most beautiful, most beloved animals, even though she's not super high quality, whatever, she's just a concentric, I don't care. That's my girl. I raised her since a hatchling. She was one of the first turtles I ever got. What is the point in having these super high quality babies, mangrove diamondback terrapins, super rare subspecies? What's the point in having them if I can't even take care of the ones that mean the most to me. So I sent that group to my friend in Texas. I decided that I was gonna sell almost all of these babies. Let me feed them while we do this. There you guys go. Here you go, babies. There we go. So I get Bean these antibiotics. Her eyes were swollen shut for a month. I'm doing antibiotics every other day. She's barely reacting to me. She's lethargic. I'd put her in fresh water to soak, and then I would dry her off again. Her skin was just slewing off. I was giving her terramycin eye drops. The vet gave me some vitamin A eye drops as well. And finally, after 4 weeks, 4 full weeks, her eyes slowly start opening up again. And then I put in some little shrimp pellets. When she's soaking, she starts eating again. And I was like, oh, hallelujah. So at this point, I only had Bean, Flipper, and Beef from that main blue tub. The problem was, this was all very uncertain and new to them, but my friend has them hibernating at 55 degrees, the highest temperature possible while still having them hibernating, well, brumating. He was able to give them the consistent water temperatures that I could not, because it was getting way warm during the day, then it would get super cold at night. They were confused. It was not good. With Terrapins, during the winter, stability is key. Back where I used to live on the coast of South Carolina, we had buffered winters. When the temperatures were low, they would stay low. They wouldn't fluctuate as much as they were in the mountains. And that's why I decided it would just be better to send them to him, because it's no longer worth that. Why am I going to risk the health of my animals? For what? Trying to get eggs next year, trying to get babies? No, I don't care about that. Their health comes first and foremost. And if I feel like I can't adequately take care of them, it's not fair to them for me to keep them. And just the babies, how much they're worth. Some of my friends are like, sell them. These are very expensive animals. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want the money. I don't care. I just want my animals to be happy and healthy. So they're over there happy and healthy. Bean's finally getting better, but her face is a little busted. And then the other tub that I had outside hibernating also got the fungus. And I said, screw it. Thankfully, we had this garage built. I really don't have that much space in here, so I'm very limited. And that's also why I downsized. And so I said, screw hibernation. That's it. They're living their winter right here with me right now. I get to see these little boogers every day. So we have Bean, Pancake, Flipper. We have Bean's 3 babies that she had 2.5 years ago. That first year that I built the pond and found babies outside. We have an unnamed little lady that lives in here as well. That's a rescue from a good friend of mine. Oh, and Beef. And we got Beefy Boy. So yeah, there's 8 Terrapins that I have in this 110-gallon stock tank. Do what I say, not what I do. That's too many. That's way too many for this stock tank. It's only for another 3 or 4 weeks when it warms back up. So for now, it's okay. And I'm also very thankful that these 2 adult males that I have are not really aggressive with the females. They kind of leave the girls alone. So thankfully, everything's working out really nicely. Right, girls? So the fungus is cured. Everyone's doing okay. Screw winter. Everyone's inside now. I don't care anymore. Everyone's indoors. I'm down to under 14 turtles. I've got these guys that I'm just gonna hang on to until springtime when I can put them back outside and we can try this again. Hopefully they adapt better to the climate in the springtime. And then I've also got this rack right over here that's got all of the babies in it. So essentially on a Diamondback Terrapin, they have beaks that are used for eating hard-shelled prey items like mollusks and gastropods. Now, because Bean was slewing off all of her skin, this is what a normal Terrapin looks like. Here's Miss Flipper, again, what a normal Terrapin looks like. But because Miss Beanie Baby was slewing off all parts of her skin, I noticed the top part of her beak was starting to come off. Because all of the skin was slewing off, what ended up happening was that straight up, the top part of her beak fell off. Now, because it's made of keratin, the same thing as our fingernails are, it should grow back. But for right now, she looks a little bit busted. And so she's also got some scar tissue. You can see the blue, those little dark patches of blue everywhere. That is from that fungus. But thankfully now, she's looking much better, eating fine, and it should grow back over time. So that's it. That's where I'm at right now. We're waiting for the springtime when I can move these guys back outside into their ponds. For now, I got the babies inside. I got these guys here. And everything's fine. So that's it, guys. That is the story of how and why I don't have as many of my animals left, and why Miss Bean here looks looks all messed up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this update. Subscribe for care guides coming up. Name what species you want me to do a full in-depth care guide on in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. My hands are all turtly.